Hey guys, Katie here. This isn't usually what you see on this channel, but I wanted to take my paper pumpkin card kit from Stampin' Up and make a little mini album with little pullouts for gift cards and additional photos for Father's Day. So I thought it would be fun to take the May 2024 paper pumpkin kit and make a Father's Day mini album / gift album, if you will. Here is the one that we are going to make. I'm going to show you an alternative to sewing because I know not everyone has a sewing machine. But you can see here I've taken the cards and just by trimming some of the pieces, I was able to add pockets that you can put gift cards on. I was able to add a photo place and then some pockets that you can add either additional gift cards or additional photos. And basically the cards are as is in the paper pumpkin kit. So again, I'm using the May 2024 kit. If you don't have this one, you can sign up right now to get on the June kit. It is really, really cute. And then once you are a subscriber, it opens up purchasing additional kits that are still available. So you would still be able to purchase this kit. You would also be able to purchase some add-ons that are for the April, May, and June kit, so on and so forth. So make sure you expand that description below and check out that ordering link. And if you didn't see my paper pumpkin unboxing, it comes with a fully color illustrated guide showing you how to put those cards together. Now we will be actually putting the cards together almost as instructed and just using those cards for the mini album. But you can see here I've pulled out 3 card bases, and this is one of each card base, and I've also pulled out all the elements for each card base. So you have the die cuts that go with this one, as well as the piece of pattern paper. Same thing with this one, the die cuts, and then the die cuts, and then this pattern paper. I also have the stamp set that comes with it. Now for ease, I've gone ahead and I've attached the images just to some blocks that I have in my stash. I also have the dimensional elements that come with the paper pumpkin kit. I have the glue dots, so if you don't want to add your own adhesive, you can use these. I have the little Stampin' Spot, Misty Moonlight, that comes with the paper pumpkin kit. And then from my stash, I have included some ribbon. This is from the Latte Love bundle. I've also taken some White Daisy cardstock and I've trimmed these to 3x4. And then I have 3 1-inch pieces. Now these are 1 by 5.5. And this is going to be the alternative to sewing your pieces. And then of course I'll have my paper trimmer, a ruler, and a pencil. So let me clear all of this off and then we can get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get all the card bases together and go ahead and fold on that scored line. And then for the most part, the opening is going to be on your left side, the fold is going to be on your right, and that's what's going to create the pockets. And then I'm going to bring out my trimmer. Now, I purchased this Close to My Heart trimmer before I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you have a Stampin' Up! Trimmer, definitely use that. I have never used one that has the scoring blade as well as the cutting blade. Absolutely love that. If you don't have one of those, you can actually use a Score Pal or scoreboard to do this. But these little 1-inch pieces, we want to score at 1/2 inch. So we are just going to score those in half. I'm going to repeat that for all 3. While I have my trimmer out, I want to go ahead and cut the pieces that need to be cut. So I've already cut the 3x4. If you haven't done that, you'll want to do that. And I did 3 of them. So then you're going to take this card base. Now this is going to serve as our cover. So we're going to leave this as is, but on this side we want to cut a pocket at a diagonal. So I'm going to put this card base into my paper trimmer. Now this is 4 1/4, so I want to move that right edge to the 3 3/4 mark so I can make a mark at 1/2 inch, and that will be a spot where I cut it. And then we want to make a tick mark 3 inches from the bottom. So right here. And then I am going to cut, if you can see, there's a pin mark right there and a pin mark right there. I'm going to cut diagonally from that pin mark to that pin mark. So you have that. And then you are going to save this piece. So this card base is going to serve as that last page. So this is going to be the back of the album. So I want the opening on my left and then the score on my right. And I am going to be working on that left panel, and I'm going to line that score mark up at the 1/2 inch and make a mark. And 3 inches. This is a little bit easier to see those tick marks, and then we're going to cut at a diagonal. If you are really good at scissors, you are welcome to use your scissors. I am not, and you're also going to save that piece. Okay, so we have our front cover flip, then we're going to have this one, and then we're going to have this, and then the back cover. So you can see the back cover, nothing was done with. So then on this one, while it is closed, you can either take a die cut. To me, it's just simpler if I do a punch. This piece is going to be centered on here once we actually get it done. So I want to take my punch, and I want to punch a hole that doesn't go all the way to here. And I also want it centered on this. So I'm going to line this up to 2 1/8 and make a pin mark. You can barely see that. Again, I want to pull this in because I want to make sure that I'm not going past this, and I'm punching through both layers of this. So I'm just going to center that mark in my circle and then punch. So you have that. And that is almost all we need with our trimmer. The other thing we're going to do is remember that this mark was at 3 inches, and then we've got 4 1/4. This is the base, or the card front that goes to this base. And so I want to trim this so it can be centered on this little pocket. So you're going to trim this to 2 1/2 inches. So we are done with our paper trimmer. So now we're going to start kind of assembling the pocket aspect of this. So on this card base, we are going to take this, and this is the one that we cut off, and we are going to just tape it to the inside of this card. And that's just going to add a little bit of a design element. So when that pull out isn't in the pocket, it doesn't look like just a plain white base. So we are going to adhere that down. And then we are going to take one of the 1-inch strips, and we are going to adhere it down as well. Okay, so we've got that. And then now we are going to apply adhesive to the bottom of this pocket and the left, and go ahead and get it adhered down. Okay, so now we've got the cover. You flip it open, and now we've got a pocket. Again, you can use the glue dots that came with your paper pumpkin, or you can use your adhesive. So the next pocket we're going to work on is actually the last pocket, only because it goes together exactly like the other one. I am going to adhere down this triangle to the center of the card, making sure it's centered left and top. And then go ahead and put that scored piece down on that left edge, lining up the score line with the edge of the card. And then apply adhesive to the side and the bottom of this pocket. Okay, so we have the cover, the last, and now we want to work with this one. Now, for the most part, this one does not have anything done to it. We did the hole, and so everything's going to pull out. The only thing we want to do is go ahead and attach this scored 1-inch piece to the inside of the card and get it adhered down. On this one, you just attach that 1-inch strip, lining up the score mark with the edge, and apply adhesive on the sides and the bottom and close it to make a pocket. So now we have the cover, the middle, and the end. So now what is left to do is actually go ahead and get these card fronts decorated. So I pretty much stuck with the way the cards were designed. So you're going to take this little shape and we're going to ink up that stamp and we're going to ink down onto the center. Now I am going to take the little dots and I'm going to use second generation, which means I'm going to stamp off my project and then on, and it gives that lighter variation of that color. Again, off my project and then on. And then I'm going to attach these little die cuts. Now, these die cuts, not only do I just love the colors in this particular card kit, but I just love how dainty they are. For such masculine cards, I like that it added that kind of feminine touch to it. And then you're just going to adhere those down. Now, you can use the glue dots that came with your paper pumpkin kit, or you can use liquid adhesive like I am here. And then I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this sentiment piece on the sides, the top, and the bottom, and then just center it right there in that frame. And that is that for that one. Now, for the center one, you're going to want to make sure that your 1-inch strip is on the left. I added dimensionals to this card panel, and then I am going to stamp this little shape. Now, I call this a home plate. And I'm just going to ink up my image, stamp it down, and then add another one of those little floral pieces, making sure that the left of that floral piece doesn't go past that little white score mark. And then attach the sentiment with some 3D foam tape and dimensionals that come with your kit. And on the back of this is a perfect spot to add a photo. Now, on my prototype, I did a 4x4, but on this one, I decided to do a 3x4 photo. And then for this one, you're going to attach this chevron. I had my chevrons going up. And then we have this little tree image. So I'm going to just lay that there. And then we are going to stamp around that so it kind of pops from this color. So I'm just going to hold that right there, move it down slightly, and then do a pencil mark around this little edge. And so these little dots are what's going to go on here, and we're actually going to do first and second generation. So I'm going to do first, second, first, second, and then first. Oh, while that's out, let's go ahead and stamp this. And this one says Happy Father's Day. So that is why this is the last sentiment. And then I can close this up just so I don't do anything. So this little tree is going to get adhered down with dimensionals as well. So I'm going to do left, right, top, bottom. And then we're going to use those little stamped pieces as a guide of where this will go. So just make sure the bottom of your trees are even, straight across. This is going to get adhered down kind of under the trees, but off to the left. But I do want some of it under the tree. And then this is going to get adhered down with 3D foam tape. So it is best in this instance to add your 3D foam tape to your image, and you might have to kind of lift this up. This sentiment does hang over, so you don't have to kind of worry about these showing. The main thing is you want to make sure that they're in enough on the left and the right sides. And then you're just going to center it left to right, and I'm making the point go in the middle. You could move this up if you wanted it to, but I really wanted those trees to show as much as possible. So we have that. So for the little 3x4 pullouts, I am going to add some ribbon, and I am just using this ribbon that came with the Latte Love. It's this adorable little polka dot, and I am attaching it with a mini stapler. If you don't have a mini stapler, you can either punch a hole in the top or even use glue dots or a strong adhesive. You just want to make sure that that ribbon is toward the very top of these. In case you add photos or the gift cards, it won't interfere with the ribbon. So we've got that, and then the last thing to do is get this mini album adhered together. So we have one of these pockets for that. We have another pocket for this one. And then we have the third pocket for this one. And now I want to adhere these pieces together. Again, it needs to be a pretty strong adhesive. To decorate the spine a little, I am going to use those dots and the ink that came in the paper pumpkin. I'm starting in the middle, and I'm just stamping those on that little 1/2-inch piece of cardstock. If you do have coordinating Stampin' Up! Cardstock, you could definitely use that color instead of the white cardstock for the spine, and then you wouldn't have to stamp, if you will. Both serve the same purpose, just to kind of decorate that spine just a little bit, and then we can put this together. Okay, so anytime I am looking for extremely strong adhesive, I'm going to go with tear tape. It is strong. You can also use red line tape. Going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and double up over here. So that one I put toward the edge. This one I'm going to put toward the score line. And score line, again, getting it as close to the top and bottom edges as I can. And then on this one, I'm going to go toward the edge. You could also do like O-rings or something like that. You could punch holes, you could do ribbon. So then I've torn that, and then I'm just going to peel away the edges. Okay, so pocket, card front, and I am going to get these lined up. And now you can see why I added those little pieces of cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder, not only to get the tear tape really ready, but also to kind of burnish these two pieces together. So remove the backing of this one. And then remove the backing of this one. This one kind of hung down on the end, so I just need to make sure that it's folded over. And then again, just line it up as close as I can. And then burnish together. And there, my friends, we have a cute little mini album, not only for cute little photos, but you can also add gift cards into here, gift certificates, so on and so forth. You've got a photo well right there. And you can give that to your father, father-in-law, husband, brother, friend, whatever the case may be. Again, this is using the May 2024 paper pumpkin. If you are not already a subscriber, expand that description below, click on the Paper Pumpkin link, go ahead and sign up for June's, and then it will open up all the extras that you can purchase. So you would be able to purchase this, and then as well as some additional products that can be coupled with those paper pumpkins, just to kind of bring it up and step it up a notch. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful week.